What if I told you your survival could depend on something that seems completely useless in the desert? Not water, not food, but a single bottle of fuel. And the worst part, you don't even know how to use it properly. Now imagine this. You're driving through an endless desert. No cities, no signals, no people. Just miles of burning sand stretching in every direction. Now here's the question. How far can you go before something goes wrong? Because something always does. Now imagine your car suddenly stops. Engine silent, dashboard dead, and just like that, your connection to safety disappears. Now ask yourself, what's the first thing you check? Fuel, battery, signal, but nothing works. Now imagine stepping out of the car, heat hitting you instantly, air so dry it feels like it's pulling moisture out of your body. Now think about that moment, when you realize you are completely alone. Now here's the twist. You do have something, one bottle of fuel. Not enough to drive, not enough to restart the car, just one bottle. Now ask yourself, what would you do with it? Because the wrong decision could end everything. Now imagine looking around. No landmarks, no direction, just endless sand. Now think about time, the sun moving slowly, but your survival clock moving fast. Now imagine checking your phone. No signal, battery low. Now ask yourself, do you stay with the car or leave? Because that decision alone decides your fate. Now imagine choosing to stay, hoping someone passes by, but hours go by, nothing. Now imagine choosing to walk, but where? Every direction looks the same. Now here's where your mind starts playing games. Because survival isn't just physical, it's mental. Now imagine your throat getting dry, lips cracking, sweat evaporating instantly. Now ask yourself, how long before dehydration begins? Because in the desert, it happens faster than you think. Now imagine holding that bottle of fuel, the only resource you have, and realizing it's not meant for survival. Or is it? Now think about fire, signal, heat, danger. Now imagine trying to think logically, but the heat makes it harder. Now ask yourself, what's the smartest move? Now imagine night approaching, temperature dropping suddenly, cold replacing heat, and now you face a new problem. Now think about that. Surviving the day isn't enough. You have to survive the night too. Now imagine using the fuel to start a fire, but that means losing your only resource. Now ask yourself, is it worth it? Now imagine hearing nothing. No cars, no planes, just silence. Now think about how quickly hope fades. Now imagine your body getting weaker, energy dropping, decisions becoming slower. Now here's the critical moment, where most people make a mistake. They panic. They act without thinking. Now ask yourself, can you stay calm when your life depends on it? Now imagine realizing something important. The car is still your best chance of being found. Now think about visibility, something that can attract attention. Now imagine using fuel as a signal. Smoke, fire, something that can be seen from far away. Now ask yourself, when do you use it? Too early, and it's wasted. Too late, and it's useless. Now imagine watching the horizon, hoping for movement, any sign of life. Now think about time again, every hour reducing your chances. Now imagine your body struggling, mind racing, fear growing. Now here's the question that changes everything. Is survival about waiting or taking action? Because the answer decides whether you make it out or disappear forever. Now imagine this. It's no longer just a bad situation. It's a countdown. Because the desert doesn't kill you instantly. It drains you, slowly, piece by piece, until there's nothing left. Now here's the question. How long can a human actually survive out here? With no water, no help, and only one bottle of fuel that can't even be used for what it was meant for. Now imagine waking up after barely sleeping. Your body stiff, your mouth completely dry. Your lips cracked so badly it hurts to even speak. And for a second, you forget where you are. But then reality hits again. You're still here, still stuck, and nothing has changed. Now ask yourself, How does your brain react when hope doesn't improve? When every new moment feels exactly like the last? Now imagine checking your surroundings again, scanning the horizon, hoping for anything, a car, a person, even a distant shape. But there's nothing, just heat waves distorting the distance, making it impossible to tell what's real. Now here's where your mind starts to betray you, because when the body weakens, the brain begins to create hope where there is none. Now imagine seeing something far away, a shadow, a movement. Your heart races instantly. Now ask yourself, do you trust it or ignore it? Because chasing the wrong direction could cost everything. Now imagine deciding to stay again, choosing logic over impulse. But that choice comes with its own pressure, because every second you wait, your body gets weaker. Now think about dehydration, not as thirst, but as a system failure. Now imagine your body trying to conserve water, reducing sweat, slowing functions, making you feel dizzy. Now ask yourself, how long before your body stops functioning normally? Because once that happens, decision-making collapses. Now imagine standing up, feeling lightheaded, your balance slightly off, your reaction slower than before. Now think about that. Even your own body is becoming unreliable. Now here's the turning point. Because now you realize, waiting is killing you slowly, but moving could kill you faster. Now ask yourself, what's worse, a slow death or a risky chance? Now imagine looking at that bottle of fuel again, holding it tighter than before, because now it's not just a resource, it's your last option. Now think about all the ways you could use it: fire, signal, heat. Now imagine planning, not reacting, thinking through every possible scenario. Now here's the question that changes everything. When is the perfect moment to use it? Now imagine the sky, the sun at its highest point, light everywhere, but visibility low because of heat distortion. Now ask yourself, would smoke even be visible right now, or would it blend into the sky? Now imagine waiting for the right time, maybe late afternoon, maybe when shadows grow longer. Now think about patience. How difficult it is when your body is breaking down. Now imagine your throat getting worse, swallowing becoming painful, your tongue dry. Now here's where panic tries to return, but you force it down because panic wastes energy, and energy is something you don't have anymore. Now imagine sitting inside the car, trying to stay out of direct sunlight, conserving strength. Now ask yourself, how long can you sit still, doing nothing, while time runs out? Now imagine hearing a sound, faint, distant, something that doesn't belong in silence. Now your body reacts instantly, adrenaline hits. Now think about that. Your system's still fighting, still trying to survive. Now imagine stepping out, scanning again, trying to locate the source, but it's gone. Now here's the danger: false hope, because it drains you emotionally. Now imagine your energy dropping again, faster this time, because hope came and disappeared. Now ask yourself, how many times can that happen before you give up? Now imagine reaching a critical decision point where you know waiting any longer might be worse than acting. Now here's where strategy becomes everything. Now imagine preparing the fuel, not all of it, just enough, creating a controlled plan. Now think about timing, precision. Now imagine choosing a spot, visible, open, where smoke can rise freely. Now ask yourself, is this the moment, or should you wait longer? Now imagine taking a deep breath, even though it hurts, and making the decision. Now you pour a small amount, carefully, controlled. Now think about how valuable every drop is. Now imagine lighting it, the fire catching slowly, then growing. Now here's the moment, smoke rising into the sky, visible, real. Now your heart races again. But this time, it's different. Now imagine watching the horizon, not blinking, not moving, just waiting. Now think about time again, because now every second feels longer than before. Now imagine minutes passing, no response, nothing changes. Now doubt creeps in. Did you waste it? Now ask yourself, should you have waited? Now imagine the fire dying down, smoke fading, and with it, a piece of your hope. Now here's where most people break, because they think that was their only chance. Now imagine sitting there, staring at the remaining fuel, less than before, but still something. Now think about resilience, the ability to try again, even when the first attempt fails. Now imagine telling yourself, this isn't over, not yet. Now ask yourself, do you still have enough strength to try again? Now imagine hours passing, the sun lowering, temperature slowly dropping. Now here's the advantage. Visibility improves. Now imagine preparing again, this time using a bit more fuel, creating a stronger signal. Now think about risk, because now you're using more of your last resource. Now ask yourself, what if this is your final chance? Now imagine lighting it again. Bigger fire, thicker smoke, rising higher. Now here's the moment. Something changes. Now imagine a distant sound, clearer this time, more consistent. Now your heart doesn't just race, it explodes. Now ask yourself, is this real? Now imagine focusing, listening carefully, and this time, it doesn't disappear. Now think about timing again, because now everything depends on being seen. Now imagine adding the remaining fuel, making the fire as strong as possible, risking everything. Now here's the peak moment. Smoke thick, fire visible. Now imagine movement in the distance, something approaching, slowly, but clearly. Now ask yourself, is this rescue or just another illusion? Now imagine it getting closer, shape becoming clearer. Now here's the turning point. It's real. Now imagine the relief hitting your body, overwhelming, emotional, almost unreal. Now think about everything that just happened, every decision, every moment, every choice. Now ask yourself, what actually saved you? Because it wasn't just luck, it was control, timing, and not giving up when the first attempt failed. Now imagine the alternative, using all the fuel at the wrong time, wasting it, missing the chance. Now think about how close it was, how easily it could have gone the other way. Now here's the final truth. Survival isn't about having more. It's about using what you have, better, smarter, at the right moment. Because in situations like this, even the smallest resource can become the difference between life and disappearing forever. And maybe that's the most important lesson, not just for survival, but for everything. Sometimes, it's not about what you have, it's about how you use it when everything is on the line.